So in the past 12 months, one offer that I've been pushing has generated over 275,000 Great British pounds, which comes to approximately 360,000 US dollars. And this is all from one specific offer. So you can see my stripe right here, 276,000 Great British pounds, which comes to about 360,000 US dollars, all coming from this one offer, Upmatch, where basically we help freelancers and agency owners get more clients using Upwork as the acquisition system. It's a completely done for you service. And I want to make this video because I want to talk about exactly how I was able to go from pretty much zero to 275,000 with one completely new offer from complete scratch, and how I've made it profitable consistently month on month without fail since I started offering it. So here's what I would like to talk about in this video. So the first thing is high ticket AI service arbitrage. So this is probably one of the best opportunities today. If you're somebody watching this and you have some sort of skill or some sort of service that you want to offer, it is so easy to get into high ticket service arbitrage, because you can basically come up with a service today and next week make some money by signing one client. You don't need to spend months building the product like some other businesses require you to do. Number two is marketing versus product balance. This is really important. Like, how do you focus your energy? Do you focus on building the best product first? Do you focus on marketing first? We're going to delve into that. And then inbound versus outbound channels. How do you get people to know about your offer, and what kind of methods did I use for my offer? Scalability, which is where you start to make some serious cash and where you start to collect a lot from clients. And the fifth and final is increasing your average order value and reducing your customer acquisition cost, basically squeezing out as much revenue, making it as profitable as you possibly can. So let's start with high ticket service arbitrage. So this is exactly all the exact steps, the exact 5 steps that you need to go from idea to basically making some money with some sort of high ticket service. The first is you need to find your service. Figure out what it is you're going to offer people. So this is going to be different to every single one of you watching this. If you have a background in offering meta ads, or you understand how to create websites really well on Framer or Webflow, or you know how to build out apps or no-code softwares, whatever skill you have, you need to base your service around it so that it's something you understand and something that you can offer to others. So step number 1 is find your service. Step number 2 is record a video sales letter, right? So let's go through an example. Let's say the service that I chose is to offer Facebook advertising management services. I want to work with brands and I want to simply run their Facebook ad campaigns. In exchange, I'll charge them £1,000, £2,000 a month. So the first thing I need to do is record a video sales letter, which means getting in front of the camera and figuring out how to frame the offer. How am I going to convince companies and brands to decide to work with me in order to manage their advertising campaigns? Well, this is where you need to have a bit of critical thinking. What sort of offer are you going to present? Are you going to guarantee them a certain performance? Are you going to offer a refund if you don't deliver? Are you going to work for them for free for the first month to get people to sign up to a trial? There's so many different offers and ways you can convince these brands to work with you. And you have to figure out what that is and use a video sales letter to communicate it. If you want to see an example of a video sales letter that I've done, just go to upmatch.io and you can watch the video sales letter that I've created here. This is a really good blueprint on how to sell something through a VSL. Because I start off this video by literally saying, I guarantee you 15 clients in the next 90 days or you don't pay. So that's the hook. And then I go into the specifics of what Upwork is, who I am, how I grew on Upwork myself, and why Upwork is a powerful acquisition channel and what Upmatch can do for them. So I go through the specifics, but I've hooked them with the offer. And so that's your video sales letter. Then you need to make a landing page, again, just like here, upmatch.io. The landing page really needs 3 things. Your offer written at the top, your video sales letter, and the ability for people to book in a call so they can speak with you. That's all you need. So don't overcomplicate it and spend weeks trying to design the best website. I've seen landing pages with really, really rubbish designs perform really well and make a lot of money. So you don't need to over deliver on the quality of how it looks. Step number 4, add your VSL and Calendly form to the landing page. So now you've basically built out your funnel. And step 5 is traffic. That is the last step. You just need to get people to see your landing page, people who are your ideal clients, and that's how you're going to convert them. It's super simple when you break it down in this sense. So here are the 2 high ticket services that I've ever sold. One is Meta and Instagram advertising management services. I made over 120,000 Great British pounds with that. My main acquisition channel, the way I got clients for that was by using Upwork.com. I would bid on contracts every day on Upwork. I would meet potential clients. I would sell and I would close. 120,000 is what I made in total. With Upmatch, which is the offer that I've been running for the past 17, 18 months, I've generated 310,000 Great British Pounds since I started. So this is where my Stripe comes in. I'll do all time. So you can see 314,000 Great British Pounds since I started selling the Upmatch services. So what high ticket services do I think is the smartest thing to offer right now? So let's pretend you're watching this and you have absolutely no idea what service to offer. I honestly think the best opportunity today in 2025 is automating processes for businesses using artificial intelligence, because that is a very hot topic right now. So if you can figure out what sort of processes businesses need to conduct and figure out a way to automate it for them using AI, then you'll make a lot of money. For example, businesses need to get more clients so they can do outreach on LinkedIn. Well, if you used artificial intelligence to automate their outreach so that they could do more and they just pay you in order for you to manage that, then I think you'll make a lot of money. Likewise, companies need to follow up with leads. They need to chase up their leads and have a lead follow-up system that is efficient and effective. And if you can use artificial intelligence to automate that, then I think you'll make a lot of money. Same with DMing prospects on Instagram. If you can use AI to do that on their behalf, then I think you'll make a lot of money doing that. And softwares exist that can already do these things. So there are softwares that will reach out on LinkedIn for you. There are softwares that will DM people on Instagram for you. There are softwares that can follow up with leads in your pipeline for you. So they exist. You just need to figure out how to use these tools and approach companies and say, hey, I can take care of this for you. And on the back end, you use these AI tools to do it on your behalf. And so it's very scalable because your margins are going to be very, very good. And I always believe high ticket beats low ticket. And what does high ticket mean? High ticket is basically selling something that is worth, let's say, more than $1,000, right? It's a high ticket item. It's a high priced item. Low ticket will be something like $80, $70. And so I believe high ticket always beats low ticket, because if you're selling a $1,000 product and you're at an 80% profit margin, which is pretty standard for high ticket services, you know, and if your customer acquisition cost is $400, then you're profitable. Now, if you sell a $100 product and you have an 80% margin, you need your customer acquisition cost to be under $80 to be profitable. So you have less breathing room. Your margins are thinner and there's less room to maneuver and be comfortable to be able to try different forms of outreach. So this is why high ticket works. Even if your customer acquisition cost goes up a little bit more, you have more breathing room. And this is what I found as somebody who sold both high ticket and low ticket items. I can tell you high ticket is so much easier to make profitable from the first month of running the business. And high ticket, you only need 10 clients to make 10K, right? Low ticket, you need 100 to make 10K in this example. Now, when it comes to the product versus marketing balance, I see people make this mistake all the time. And I've made this slide super simple because this is the truth about how you should conduct business today. You should market the offer first and then build the product and make it better over time. It is extremely difficult in the high ticket service space, regardless of what you're offering. Web development, software development, any sort of service that you're offering, it's extremely difficult to make the product fantastic before you go to market. And the problem with doing that is if you build a fantastic product, a really good product, but then you go to market and you realize nobody wants it, then you've just spent 3, 4, 5 months, however long, building a great product that nobody wants. So there's no point doing that. Figure out what service you're going to offer, build out the mechanics to get attention for it. Close 1 client, 2 clients, and as you fulfill for that client, you're going to figure out how to improve the product. And it's the same even in my case. I've serviced hundreds of clients for Upmatch to date. And even now, every time we get new clients, I learn new things. I figure out ways to improve the product more. So stop waiting to go to the market once you have like the perfect product. It's the worst strategy ever. And people make this mistake all the time. Go to market first, see if people even want it. And if people want it, then you know you have a product that you need to continuously make better and better and better. And that happens over time. That's not to say, you know, make your product rubbish, but that's to say that don't overanalyze your product being perfect before you've even gotten a client to sign up to it, because you haven't even validated it. Let's talk about different methods of getting clients, right? Inbound versus outbound. I'm going to show you my outbound channels and how I get clients. I'm going to show you my inbound channels and how I get clients. So inbound channels are things like organic social media content, paid ads, word of mouth, referrals, right? Clients are coming to you. People are coming to you and messaging you to inquire about your services. Outbound is when you find the client. So that can be cold calling. It could be reaching out to people on LinkedIn DMs. It could be bidding on contracts on Upwork, right? You're reaching out to the client. It's not the client reaching out to you. And that's the primary difference between inbound and outbound. So I'm going to show you my most successful channel. And my most successful channel is inbound. It is running Meta paid ads. And I'm going to show you the exact performance of this. So you can see here, this is basically the 3 channels that are working very well for Upmatch right now. It's 75% of traffic is coming from paid ads, 15% is coming from organic, which is, it's more scalable, because as I post more organic, it compounds over time, right? And about 5 to 10% in referrals. Right now, referrals are starting to grow because as we've serviced so many clients at this point, and a lot of them we've delivered really good results for, so they tell other people about it, and that's where we get introduced to these people. But I'm going to show you our most powerful acquisition channel, which is Meta Ads, right? This is just one of our ad accounts. This one campaign is booked 2,849 appointments at a cost of £37 per appointment. So remember before we were talking about customer acquisition cost? So one appointment is costing £37. And so our CAC is very, very low. It's around 100 Great British pounds for our total customer acquisition cost. Because it's £37 to get them on an appointment, but how many of them do we convert into customers? It's costing around 100 to 150 customer acquisition cost, which is very, very profitable because we're selling a product worth more than $1,000. And so this is a really good channel to be able to get awareness pretty quick for your company. And if you're curious about what type of ads I'm running, it's just talking head videos of me basically pitching the service briefly. And it works really, really well. As long as you have a good offer, you will get interest. So let's talk about scalability. Once you're at $15,000 monthly recurring revenue, this is where it actually starts to matter. You need to figure out how to scale. And the main 2 things that most agencies need to figure out in order to scale is either how to take more sales calls or how to handle more clients from the fulfillment side, right? So the reason I say those are the 2 limiting bottlenecks here is because you as an individual are not going to be able to take 500 sales calls a month. So there's a limitation there. It's a bottleneck. And likewise, you're not going to be able to fulfill 300 clients a month in service. And that's a bottleneck. And so you need to figure out how to scale those 2 things. The way I've scaled it, right now at Upmatch, we have a sales team of over 5 people. And we have, in the fulfillment side, we have 14 people in the fulfillment that help deliver the service. So this is our entire organizational chart. So we've got 5 sales guys who actually take and conduct sales calls. We've got a sales manager, Stephen, who oversees them and basically gives them weekly training to make sure that they're optimizing their sales conversion rate. We've got a setter called Ellie who basically calls all the leads and makes sure that they are qualified for our program and what it is that we do. The founder is myself. We've got the bidding manager who basically manages all the bidders on our team. The bidders are responsible for doing the actual outreach. We give them regular training, which is what me and the bidding manager take care of, and our 2 assistants. We've got an account manager called Inna and a profile optimization specialist called Nikolai, all of which together help me manage the scalability of the fulfillment and the sales. And these are the 2 components that you need. So going back to our chart here, we've got sales calls and we've got fulfillment as our 2 limiting bottlenecks. As long as you can handle more sales calls and you can handle more clients in the fulfillment, then you're going to be able to scale to hundreds of thousands a month. And those are the 2 things that usually most agencies need to fix, right? Every different agency is different. There might be other limiting bottlenecks for yourself, but I see those 2 as the key criteria that need to be fixed. So with your sales team, start with 1 person. If you're starting to scale out a sales team, you're not going to start with 5 people, right? The way I got to 5 people is starting off with 1, training them, getting a 2nd person, getting a 3rd person. It happens over time. So start with 1 person. You can find them in Facebook group communities, sales communities. You can even find them on Upwork.com. You can apply, you can post contracts saying, I'm looking for a salesperson, and you'll get salespeople applying. Now, interview as many as you can and find the person that is best suited, and set them up with an email domain, a Calendly account, and just test them out. Give them a few calls and see how they perform. But the way you're going to prepare them for those calls is if you can share with them recorded footage of you closing somebody, then they can follow the same systems. So you need to first be closing clients yourself. If you haven't closed clients yourself, don't get a salesperson because you haven't even validated the offer. Maybe nobody wants it. How can you expect a salesperson to perform well for you when you as the founder haven't closed anyone? And fulfillment, write out the entire process. This is how you're going to automate and scale your fulfillment side. Write out the entire process from when a client onboards with you to when you've completed and fulfilled the work for them. Every single individual step that is required. And then you can hire specialists and virtual assistants to take care of different parts of that. So that you need to lay out the mechanics and find people to do certain parts of it. So you build processes and systems. And that's how you're going to be able to scale, alongside using certain tools like AI related tools that make automating processes like this a lot easier. You're going to be able to scale the fulfillment if you focus on these things. Okay, lastly, how do you increase average order value and reduce your customer acquisition cost? Now, this is the easiest way to actually make more money if your agency is already closing clients. The first is to upsell all satisfied customers. If you have customers who have worked with you and you've delivered a good service and they're extremely satisfied, and maybe they've told you that they're very happy with the product and the service, then they are going to be the easiest upsells you'll ever do. Because when you go into a call and you say, I've got another package that suits your business, and you explain what it is, and it is actually something that can provide value, even if it's more expensive, they'll work with you because they've already developed trust for you. They've paid you money in the past and you've delivered, and they're confident that if they pay more money, then you will deliver. And so as long as you have another upselling, another product that you can upsell and it's worth more in funds and it actually provides value, then you're going to be able to close a lot of people for that. And that's increasing your average order value. Increasing your average order value is just one of the easiest ways to start making more revenue. And the best way is just to speak to existing satisfied clients. Ask all good, satisfied clients to also leave a selfie testimonial video, or ask them to get on a call and record an interview testimonial, because that's going to reduce your customer acquisition cost in the future. Upmatch, we have so many recorded video testimonials, recorded interviews. We have a Trustpilot with loads of 5-star reviews, and they're all legitimate from real clients. And this helps us close more clients. So our customer acquisition cost gets a lot lower. And the last step to this is just reassessing your entire funnel. So at this point, you've built out your entire funnel. You have your offer, you built out your website, you've got your VSL, you've got your ability for people to book in calls. You've sold a few clients on the service and you validated it. You've gotten a sales team, you've built out the systems for the fulfillment, and you can now scale. Well, what is there left for you to do? What's left is how do you increase your show rate? How do you increase your closing rate? How do you reduce your cost per booked appointment? This is how you're going to be able to make more money from the funnel. So the first is, what's your show rate? Well, you can increase your show rate by adding email and SMS reminders so people remember to attend the calls. You can hire a setter or a qualifier to call the leads as they book in to make sure that they're going to attend. How do you increase your close rate? Well, you need to review sales calls and test different ways of framing the offer. You need to get better salespeople. What's your cost per booked appointment and how do you reduce it? Well, that's just about looking at the acquisition channel you're using, whether it's Facebook ads, whether it's Upwork, and just figuring out how to optimize that. How do you make that better? So in my case with Meta ads, it's costing £37 to get one appointment. How do I reduce that? Well, in the next month, I'm going to be testing different ad campaigns. I'm going to be testing different style of creators. I'm going to be testing different ad copies. I'm going to be testing different audiences. So I'm going to be testing a bunch of different things in Facebook ads with a full focus of reducing my cost per booked appointment. And that is basically everything. There's really no special recipe. There is no secret to get to a £1 million a month agency. It's all about offering a service that people want and validating it quick. All right, guys, I hope you found this video useful. If you have any questions at all about anything I've gone through, feel free to comment it down below. I honestly make these videos just to document things that I've learned from running my own agencies and freelancing on Upwork. If you'd like to join our free school community, it's 100% free. Inside of there, you'll be able to connect with me directly. And there's 100% completely free A to Z program, which I've made to show you exactly how I got my first $100,000 through Upwork, because there were specific tactics that I used. You can access that by clicking the link down below.